Oh, okay.
Why don't we have her come up to you afterwards?
Okay.
But
I want a question.
What's that?
Question.
You want another one?
You can ask me one.
Yeah. Well, read that and then afterwards I'll talk. Actually, I'll give you a planning department question.
Please.
When is the planning department going to come up with a new traffic plan?
Is there a problem?
Well, the traffic plans that are out there, the last time they were updated was 35 years ago. Is that right? 35 or 40 years ago?
A traffic plan.
You know, the traffic plan.
No, it's
the plans that the developers use as far as to see how many parking places are required for condos.
It's called a tip.
Okay.
Never mind. You weren't at that meeting.
I wasn't.
Okay.
Traffic plan.
The traffic study.
Oh, you mean they want to do a citywide one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's that going to be done?
Soon.
Okay, good. Okay.
As fast as it takes to get a street repaved. We'll get it faster.
Okay, good. The next one is either for Brian or Sergio. Let's see, I already asked one of his questions, so I'm not going to ask that. Let's see. What are the white stripes? This is from Dino, I can't read your last name. What are the white stripe lines in front of most houses on Hartson, Ranchito, and Brandon? These single line markings are on the curb with no pavement notation.
What is the white stripe?
In the last 2 weeks, there's been a number of all the homes, about 80% of the homes in my area, suddenly have a single white stripe. I've talked to DWP, they say no, our codes are blue. Gas says ours are yellow. I called Street Services today, I called DOT today, and all of them say, we don't know what you're talking about, but there's well over 100 of them in my neighborhood, single one line on the curb, going from pavement to over the top of the curb, and all of the neighbors in it are saying, what does this refer, and why are we not being notified? It is not about painting numbers. It is just a single white stripe.
Okay. I think Ron has the answer.
Probably come speak to me. This might be the nonprofits of the city of LA, along with the mayor's Million Tree LA program, are canvassing areas for us. It might be that. It sounds like it's one single white line. It's probably what that is. And talk to me about that, and I'll look into it tomorrow. We'll find out what it is.
Canvassing to put trees?
That is correct. They're canvassing for available sites to place trees. If they're doing that, it's really, they need to get our okay first. Maybe they're just getting the cart before the horse, but I'll check into it. It sounds like something I'll have to look into.
Thank you.
Okay, and Ron, since you have the microphone, Malcolm Mackey asks, can you trim an oak tree?
Where is Malcolm?
Here. How far can you trim it?
In the city of Los Angeles, we have what's called protected tree code. It protects, it requires protected trees, and that's the oak tree genus, the California sycamore, the California bay, and the Southern California black walnut. You are not required to have a permit to prune those trees. You're required to have a permit to remove it. Removal is defined as full removal or any act that would cause the tree to fail, which makes whatever you're doing that might cause that require a permit. And I know it's very vaguely written, and there are reasons why it was done like that, but you are not required to have a permit to trim a protected tree.
Don't kill it, though.
You cannot kill it. And if you go to our website, which is LAcity/D as in boy OSS/Urban Forestry Division, we have quite a lot of information on the protected tree ordinance and what you can and cannot do. But you can prune without a permit a protected tree.
Okay. This question is addressed to Brian Gallagher, but I think it might be for Sergeant John Curtin. It asks, this is from Myrna Weinstein, what are the chances of having street parking signs removed?
Very good, actually. If they continually get together and do a general list of names in the community that want the streets, contact street engineering, sign postings, and they'll come out and evaluate your area, they'll check the streets, and then remove the signs for you. It's historically been done out here quite a bit in the valley area. So just use the number 311 for the information resource, or get on the city website, which is lacity.org. And obtained through engineering or street services. So they can,
Okay. And since Tom, you didn't get any good questions, this one is for you. This is from Steve Weiss. Why did the planning department allow Buckley School to significantly expand their expansion plan after the scoping section without providing the community with new scoping session to comment on the completely different, greatly expanded plan?
Okay, we're talking about the environmental aspect of it. That's not my understanding of how it went. My understanding was Buckley had an EIR, scoping for the EIR, they took the comments. Does everybody understand kind of the process? Because that's what Fashion Square has sent out to everybody right now, is a draft environmental. About August, we had a scoping meeting in which your comments were taken. Under the California Environmental Quality Act, projects need environmental clearance of some type. In the case of Buckley needed an EIR, an environmental impact report, because either there were impacts that could not be mitigated, that's the reason you would need an EIR, or there was significant public controversy or enough public concern where an EIR was necessary. Did you want to? Oh, okay. Buckley did an environmental impact report, as are many of the other schools in the neighborhood that are expanding. Many projects now do an environmental impact report just so they can fully disclose all their environmental impacts of the project. Buckley had a scoping meeting. The comments were taken from the community, and they were incorporated in a draft environmental impact report. A draft goes out to the community, typically for a 30-day review, sometimes a 45-day, as Fashion Square is doing. That gives you 45 days to review the document. The draft document, sometimes many volumes big, and a lot of information, and then we take your comments on that environmental impact report in the draft, and we take the comments and we put it in the final. The final then becomes the document that goes with the decision maker up through the entitlement process, the environmental clearance to the decision maker. Many a time the applicant has alternatives that are proposed in the environmental that are chosen rather than the project that was originally proposed, or the project changes. Some might say it was expanded, but as I know, Buckley did not change the size of the project from what was initially proposed in their scoping meeting way back a few years ago.
Thank you. With that, a couple things. Number one, we want to thank Jules Spear for putting this all together this evening. Number two, we want to thank the Notre Dame and also ask you to clean up. Number three, please come up and speak to our speakers, and we want to thank them for taking their evening and spending a good year with us tonight. Thank you.
See you next time.